enthusiasts, how you doing? I hope you've all had a great week. In this week's update, I've got some footage from Santa Pod last week from Mini in the Park where I've done the drag racing, so I'll try not to waffle on too long. We'll try to get into that as soon as we can. But just before I start, just wanted to let you know, just apologise in advance. I go on holiday on Monday, so I'll be away for a couple of weeks. Won't be able to upload any videos, so apologies in advance for that. And I just wanted to say thanks as well. So since I last mentioned it, there's been a flurry of new subscribers. So if you're a new subscriber to the channel, thank you very much for subscribing. I've got over 100 videos that have been previously done that are in playlists. So if you haven't had a chance to look yet, have a look at the playlists. I hope you enjoy the channel and I hope you stay around. If you're watching this for the first time, again, please hit the like button and please subscribe. And just lastly, thank you very much to all my existing subscribers. Really appreciate it, and I really thank you very much for your support. One thing that I'm a little bit gutted about, actually, I said I was going to do the next giveaway at 998 subscribers. As of today, I'm at 987, so chances are I'll flip over that 998 while I'm away. So I don't quite know what I'll do. Maybe I'll do a bigger one at 1275, I don't know, but I'll try and sort something out anyway. And just to keep you updated on the last subscriber giveaway, which was, I think Steve Truan was the winner of the paper cut. Angie's almost finished that now. Hopefully she can get it done this weekend. So there might actually be another video because I've been time-lapsing that. So Steve, don't worry, it's nearly finished. It's really looking great and should be able to get that to you pretty soon. So Santa Pod last week, how did it go? Like I said before, Mini in the Park is one of my favourite mini shows. I think it's really great. There's plenty to do there. There's drags racing, there's stunt shows, there's run what you brung, there's usually good club stands, good trade, everything like that. I just think all round it's a really good mini show, and it was pretty good this year as well, but the weather was a disappointment. So we went on the Saturday, camp Saturday night for the Sunday. It rained quite hard Sunday evening, and it was on and off Sunday, which just put a dampener on it a bit. I can remember going down in previous years and on the Saturday evening, you know, park the cars up, have a few beers, go for a wander around all the tents and have a look at all the other cars. Because it was raining, we couldn't really do that, so we had a few beers, ended up in the club. It was still enjoyable, but if anyone, as you know, if you've done camping before, it's really all about the weather. And the same with drag racing, actually. So I played for Run What You Brung on Saturday and on the Sunday. On the Saturday, literally only got one run in, started to rain, so that was it, game over. And on the Sunday, it was just stop-start all day. So went down, done a run, couple of spots of rain, and they literally close the track. They have to dry it off, prep all the track again, which can take about an hour, and then you get one more run in, another spot of rain, back to square one. So it got a bit tiring doing that. We were just waiting around, just couldn't get any consistent runs back to back in. So a little bit disappointing. Gutted actually, because I really wanted to break get a 16-second quarter mile out of Vini, because I know it can do it and it's done it in the past, but it just wasn't happening this year. So like I say, it was slightly damp, stop start, so that doesn't help because you want some consistent runs, keep some heat in the tyres, keep the engine all warmed up, running perfectly okay. That just wasn't possible. There was a good hour between each run, and it was really windy as well, and the wind was right down the drag strip, so I don't know how much difference that makes, but I'm sure it probably makes a difference on sort of terminal speed, and obviously that'll have an effect on standing quarter times. So yeah, I was just off the pace all over really. So my best reaction time this time was 0.540 of a second, so just over a split half a second. 60 foot times were pretty good, so you're seeing the videos. Vini is very quick off the mark. It's quite low geared. I put a bet on with Mark that I would guarantee I would beat him to 60 foot, and I was pretty confident I'd win that bet, and I lost it, so that was gutting as well. And the best quarter mile time I got was 17.63 at 72.73 miles an hour. So yeah, that's gutting. That's a second and a bit off my best time. So I've done a 16.6 in Vini at 83 miles an hour, I think it was. So yeah, bit gutting, but hey ho, gives me something to aim for next year. I know the car can do better. You'll see in the video, Bolt had the same problems actually. So Mark was running Bolt. I had a massive advantage over Mark. I've probably done about 15 runs up and down the track. Mark has never done it. So when I put my bet on with him, I was pretty confident I'd win it, but I still lost. It's a little bit of a learning exercise. It's not as simple as it looks. It looks really simple. You start from a standing start, you drive it as hard as you can for a quarter of a mile, but just getting the pull away right, the gear changes right, everything like that, it can make it quite difficult to do. So Bolt done pretty well, although I think it's much quicker. Now I look back through the GoPro footage, could have changed gears a little bit higher, it bogged down a couple of times, weather conditions just weren't right. So the best Bolt run I think was a 16.1. I reckon there's at least a second and a half, 2 seconds quicker in that big car, because as you'll see in the video in a minute, I tell you what, it really did start pulling away from Vini when he did get it right. Biggest problem with that car though, it's built as a track car. It's got a track car Swift Tune engine in it, delivers all its power. I say all its power, most of its power is sort of 5,500 RPM, right round to about 7,200. So when you're on the track, you're keeping it in that sort of, it's quite a wide band actually, sort of 2,500 RPM. You're making sure the gear changes are right, always on the power, always within that power band. Of course, the worst thing about drag racing is you've got to go from a standing start. So at some point, you've got to get the revs perfectly matched when you pull away, so you don't dip below that sort of 5,000 RPM power band. But that can be impossible, or nigh on impossible, to get the launch right. So you see, Mark really struggled to get the launch right on Bolt, and I'd have loved to have had a go with Bolt. I was itching to get a go in Bolt. I was itching to get a better time with Vini, but we just couldn't get the runs in the end. So hey, that's what it is. Back again next year, back even harder. Definitely going to get 16 seconds in Vini, and I reckon there's a 14 point something in Bolt. So yeah, I don't know what to do with Vini. Driving back, I'm thinking, do I turbocharge it? Quite difficult to do because there's not quite enough room there. I could stick the turbo maybe sticking out the front, or I've seen people stick them in the boot before. But at the end of the day, it's a C16 SE engine. It's pretty standard. That engine was never made to run turbo on it, so the compression ratio will be too high. Could be quite complicated to do that. Was thinking about 2 litre 16 valve. Thought about that for a while now. Been getting a bit bored with the power in Vini. It's got an all-speed subframe in it. I could convert it to 2 litre 16 valve. The only thing with that is it's really difficult to get it changed over on the DVLA now. Certainly last time I'd done it, it was really difficult to do. I don't know whether I want to go through that again. And obviously the third option, I keep talking about it, is putting nitrous on it. I think that would make a massive difference, particularly in sort of in third gear, because as you'll see from certainly where I nearly beat Mark on the very first run, you'll see first and second gear Vini was off, it was gone, and by the time you get into third gear, that's when you really need the torque and you really need the brake horsepower to go against the wind resistance and to get the car down the track quicker. And Vini just doesn't have that. It's 105 brake horsepower, and when you're up against something with 125 and probably a 250 kilo weight saving, or certainly probably 200, yeah, the numbers just don't add up. So I don't know, 50 shot of NOS, 150 brake horsepower in third gear, I reckon that'd do the job. But anyway, I've waffled on for way too long now. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if I don't upload another one, look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. Cheers, guys. Sorry, guys, there's always something. I bet you're saying now, God, he's got more waffle than Bird's Eye. but I'm just editing the video and I forgot to mention actually, and that's just a big thank you to the subscribers I saw at Mini in the Park. So there's about 3 or 4 people come up to say hi, had a good chat with them. I'm really sorry, I'm naff with names. I can think of a couple actually, but I don't want to insult anyone by forgetting, so I won't mention any names. You know who you are. Thanks for coming up, thanks for saying hi, and just enjoyed the chat actually. I saw Mini Dobby there, but I didn't get a chance to go over and see him. He was running his car. Be really interesting to find out what times he got actually. So if you watch this, Mini Dobby, let me know, or I'll message you. And finally, I met Josh Smith there. So first time I saw Josh. Really gutted for Josh actually, because he text messaged me and said, can I come along as a passenger? So I thought that'd be great, that love that. So I said, yeah, go and register. We had a spare helmet for Bolt, so I thought that'd be great. We can get Josh in Bolt, we can get him in Vini, get him up and down the drag strip, but they wouldn't let him go. He was too young, unfortunately. So I think they have a cut-off age of, it's either 16 or 17, but yeah, gutted actually. So unfortunately Josh couldn't go, so sorry about that, Josh. Next year maybe, or the year after, I don't know, but it would have been great to have you in the car, but it didn't happen this time anyway. So waffle over, promise I won't be back. Enjoy the video, guys. Well, I think Mark had that at the end. He had the legs on me. I've definitely got the better start there, but Bolt reined it in. we're back on the strip again. Probably be going against Bolt if we can get lined up together. I run a 17.8 yesterday, Bolt run a 17.5 I think. Vini was winning pretty much all the way to the line, but Bolt's just got the extra power. Once it gets the power down, it's much quicker. So we'll see how it goes. I think Mark will thrash me this time because he's had a bit of practice. But yeah, see how it goes. Vini is still very quick off the line. I think up to about an eighth of a mile there's not much that can catch it, but let's see. stop-start, so